Activision, Ubisoft, and EA. What do these companies all have in common when it comes to their games? Lately, they've been killing all their IPs. So this makes me ask, are publishers still needed in gaming? So I took to the internet to do some digging, and I ended up finding out some alarming stuff. I'm going to start with Ubisoft since they've been facing a bunch of backlash with their games recently. Instead of pulling out of projects like Star Wars Outlaws and Skull and Bones, Ubisoft keeps pushing these games when the fans have repeatedly told them these games look horrible and unappealing. No one wanted the Star Wars Outlaws game, and no one cares for an Assassin's Creed Black Flag pirate simulator that doesn't even allow you to walk on land. And we can't forget about one of their most controversial games to date that hasn't even come out yet, Assassin's Creed Shadows. This game has had many reports of it not being historically accurate. For starters, one of the main characters you're set to play as is a black samurai. Now before y'all start going crazy in the comments, number one, I'm black. Number two, fans didn't ask for a black samurai, and rightfully so. Can you imagine if in GTA 5 Franklin was white? Or if Trevor was black? The characters would simply not feel authentic. Now I understand that there was supposedly one black samurai in feudal Japan, but fans weren't asking for this. And here's icing on top of the cake. They made him gay, which also was never the case in real life. I have no problem with gay, straight, or any other term you would want to refer to in any game, but to sit here and make stuff up and then think it's gonna sell makes zero sense. Ubisoft is now threatening to cancel XDefiant, arguably the most successful FPS game Ubisoft has released in years besides Rainbow. Why? Because they aren't bringing in enough revenue. Newsflash, Ubisoft put more time and thought into retaining the 8 million players XDefiant had on launch rather than worrying about a Star Wars game no one cared about and a pirate simulator where you can't even walk on land. This makes me think the executives at Ubisoft have to be half brain dead, and I promise you, I'm literally losing brain cells while making this video because it just makes no sense. And here's the nail in the coffin. Ubisoft is now telling us the gamers, we must get comfortable not owning our own games. Ubisoft, do you seriously think your company will survive the next 5 years? Wait, time out. Let's take a look at Ubisoft stock for the last 5 years. Now, you guys can see this on screen. You tell me if you think Ubisoft is going to survive the next 5 years. I mean, they put out complete garbage besides XDefiant this year, and apparently that's about to get the plug pulled on it if they don't perform. Which I hope they do. The game is fun. But Star Wars? Trash. Assassin's Creed? Bruh. Looks like it's going to be horrible. Ubisoft, what do you have to offer? And you have the audacity to tell us we have to get comfortable not owning your games? You're out of your mind. And you're going to see that stock continue to plummet. Activision. I really have a love-hate relationship with Activision. They've made some of the most iconic games in gaming history. Just take a look at OG CODs like Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, BO1, BO2, BO3. But to be honest, it really stops there. You can say what you want, but Activision has not put out a really good game in years. Really, since 2019, or I should say Modern Warfare 2019. And let's be honest, the only reason why that game did well is really because of Warzone. Not only is Activision killing the COD franchise, but let's take a look at the other games they've already killed. Many of you probably don't know, but the Tony Hawk series was like COD before COD, in the sense that there were yearly releases and Activision effectively killed the game since every year there was a new release. I know, sounds familiar, right? This practice is simply just not sustainable, and it makes games come out rushed and with poor quality. We all know gamers are very vocal to Activision about their likes and dislikes, but Activision, aka Slacktivision, doesn't care unless it hits their pockets. The funny thing is that people mindlessly buy COD every year, which has literally been a direct correlation to the state of COD each year, which is usually broken, half-assed, and recycled nonsense. Unfortunately, with a franchise like COD, you won't be able to tell how well they're doing from their sales because people mindlessly buy the games. But what you can do is take a look at what the community really has to say. And even looking at the Black Ops 6 beta, people are right now complaining about skill-based matchmaking, or should I say engagement optimized matchmaking. People complain that the game is stale or even bland. And to be honest with you, I personally do agree with this. I think Black Ops 6 is very bland. It doesn't do anything particularly well or particularly bad, but it's not innovative I guess unless you want to say Omni movement, I guess that's innovative. But regardless, the game just still feels stale. It doesn't even really feel like a Black Ops game. And I want you guys to understand something. I'm not talking about the content creators who get invited to COD Next and are so worried about the next COD and oh my gosh, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. First of all, half of these people haven't even played Call of Duty when it was good. Like half of these people came in like 2019. So I'm sorry, bro. You playing recent Call of Duty does not show that you know anything about COD. And to be very honest with you, you probably don't know anything about COD because half of these people didn't play when Call of Duty was actually good. Like Call of Duty has literally been on a steady decline. So I'm not talking about your favorite content creator who goes to COD Next every single year or who is grinding out every single camo in the game for the 7th time in the year. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the everyday people who buy Call of Duty and just want a good game. So to look at that, to see what people are actually saying about the game, don't go to content creators. If you want to see what the game actually feels like or plays like, number one, you should play it. But number two, you should go to Twitter or Reddit. That's where you're actually going to find true opinions on the state of Call of Duty, not these content creators who get paid to talk good about Call of Duty. I hope you Gen Zers understand that the content creators you watch are literally paid to make Call of Duty seem like the best thing since sliced bread. So before everybody in the comments starts saying, oh, this guy said this and this guy said that, let's actually take a second to think about why they are gassing each Call of Duty every single year, even though half of them suck and there hasn't been a good Call of Duty since 2019, and even 2019 was horrible. Let's talk about the multiplayer. It was trash, spawns were trash, gunplay was alright, but what really made that game special was Warzone. If Warzone isn't in that game flops just like every other Call of Duty. That's what literally revived the series. I think it's safe to say that Activision is not needed for these studios to perform well. And if anything, Activision hinders the studio from doing their job. EA. Yeah, I'm definitely going to lose some brain cells with this one. At one point, Battlefield was an amazing franchise which rivaled Call of Duty in their own way. Sadly, in recent years, we've gotten complete unfinished garbage. I mean, Battlefield 5 wasn't too bad. It wasn't the best either. But what is this garbage Battlefield 2042? How can you single-handedly mess up a franchise so bad? And I really don't think it was the devs' fault. But let's take a second to think about this. Do we really think the devs wanted to put a battle pass in Battlefield 2042? I doubt it. That's EA, because in every other multiplayer game, they now have a battle pass of some sort. Obviously, it's different for each game, but they all essentially have a battle pass. The problem with this is EA doesn't actually know their fan base, for Battlefield at least. See, Battlefield is not COD. You don't necessarily need a battle pass. I mean, you could argue COD doesn't need a battle pass either, but Battlefield was never that type of shooter. I genuinely think Battlefield could be doing very well if they keep their season pass structure that was used for games like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 1. Also, truly, I think making a good game is simple. Now, I'm not a game dev, but hear me out. Let the developers do their job. Publishers, just stay out the way. It's not like any of these publishers know anything about game design or how to make a game. I bet half of them don't even play video games. All they know how to do is throw money at marketing. But here's the thing, do you really need publishers when you can get free marketing nowadays? Now, I'm not a dev. Again, I'm not a dev, so I don't know. But in the comments, if you are a dev, please let me know if this makes sense. Why don't devs make their own games and have content creators advertise the game?
Oh my God! Wow!
Post it on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. With said content creator endorsing your game, I think that's a win-win for everybody. No crazy contracts, no publishers breathing down your throat, talking about we need to get this game out in the next year when you know damn well it's going to take 2 years to finish. No crunch, no crazy money spending, just an organic fan base, and the developers get to keep all control over their games and IP. Take a look at H2M. This was a Modern Warfare 2 remastered mod that got millions of views on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok just by having content creators play the game and give their thoughts and opinions on it. Everything was organic, and I doubt the team had to spend millions on marketing because all they had to do was give some content creators early access to their game. It ended up blowing up so much that Activision, aka Slacktivision, decided to try to shut it down. Thank God that didn't work. Yes, for the millionth time, you could still play H2M. Leave a comment below and I will literally send the file via Twitter. People just don't know that you could still play this game. Yes, you could still play this game. And yes, it's free. But this seemed like it worked so effectively. Why don't other studios try this instead of signing with a publisher that's going to take the rights to their IP away, have their hands in way too much development of the game, and ultimately just mess up the game for their own agenda? Regardless though, that's all I got. And if you're a dev or you know how the industry works, is this a viable and profitable way to get your games out? Or do development studios still need publishers? And please, like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to continue to just stay on this journey with me. It truly has been a journey, this YouTube journey. And, you know, I just appreciate all the love and support. These videos aren't necessarily easy to make. I'm not saying that they're the hardest thing in the world, but, you know, I'm learning as I go on. And if you guys want to be a part of this journey, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that noti bell if you real, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Writers.